Yo, what's going on? What's happening? What's popping? Happy Tuesday to everybody. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Have a seat, make yourself at home, hit that like button, refrigerator over there, remote over there. You know, let's get to it, man. What's going on, y'all? Last night when we did the live stream, you know, I said I felt like this was gonna be a spicy week. I said I felt like it was gonna be a spicy week with the Falcons fan base. And less than 24 hours later, your boy Rich McKay does a pop-up interview. You know, we hadn't heard from old Rich in a minute, boy. So Rich McKay goes to 680 The Fan, and he does a pop-up interview. He does a pop-up interview. So y'all know we got to get into that. We got to talk about it. Shout out to my dog Red Swarm in the house. What's going on with Swarm? 478 is in the building, man. Appreciate you, my guy, with the super chat, man. I hope you've been doing good, bro. Says, let's get today's goal started, fam. Appreciate that, Swarm. Yes. Let's get the goal, man. And again, y'all hit that like button for me, man. That's another key component of the algorithm that really helps, you know, the channel grow and the videos get out there. So again, 680 The Fan does an interview with Rich McKay. So I really want to come and talk about it and do a reaction to it. You know, we listened to it together because you know what? I'm gonna be transparent. When the interview first dropped on their website, their YouTube channel, I saw it uploaded and I listened to like the first 80 seconds of it, right? And I said, nah, you know what? I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna wait till I get back to the house, you know, after my work day is done, get back home, and then I want to react to it on the channel. So I'm gonna react to it with y'all. Y'all know how we do. We're gonna chop it up. We're gonna dissect it. We're gonna digest it. We're gonna give our thoughts, you know. We're gonna give our thoughts on it. But before we do that, man, let's hop into the chat real quick. We got Lisa in the building. What's going on, Lisa? Hope you are doing well. She says Blank and McKay responsible for the state of the franchise, period. Lisa, that's what a lot of people feel. That's what a lot of people feel. And I know before Rich McKay came on 680 The Fan, they were pointing, they in particular were pointing the finger at Blank and also at McKay. And I like Arthur Blank a lot as an owner, you know. Beyond just football, I feel like Blank does a lot for the community. I feel like he's proven to be a very giving philanthropist. And Lisa, you know that better than I do. You know that way better than I do. You know better than I do. He just gave $50 million to HBCUs in Atlanta, Georgia. And no, Blank has been doing that for a long time. When Arthur Blank originally bought the team, he came in and he slashed ticket prices. I remember, I mean, this was definitely a different time economically, but it wasn't terribly that long ago. We're talking about about almost 25 years ago, I think. But anyway, when he came in, he bought the team. He totally slashed ticket prices. You can get season tickets to the Falcons for about $150, depending on where you were sitting at. So I mean, I like Arthur Blank as an owner. I respect him as a businessman, obviously. Respect him as a person. I think deep down inside, I think he's a real good person. He's a genuinely good person. And some of that probably has got him, I don't want to use the word in trouble, but some of that probably has affected some of his decision making in regards to being an NFL owner. You know, it probably has hurt him along the way at times because he's just so loyal. He's loyal to the soil. He's loyal to his players. probably to a fault. You know, he probably was loyal to Michael Vick to a fault. Probably was a lawyer to Matt Ryan to a fault. Julio Jones to a fault. You know, the list goes on and on and on and on. But if we talk strictly football, I mean, I think Lisa has a valid point. You know, everything started at the top, man. And you know, and that's kind of some of what I was trying to say last night. And I know sometimes people get agitated at me because, you know, I don't come on and just totally blame the coaches, you know, because, you know, that really hasn't been me during this whole ordeal. And sometimes people get real frustrated with my take. But sometimes I don't want to say sometimes I talk in code, but sometimes I just be trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle on the table. And you take what you can from that and put the puzzle together. Because, you know, we're going on like 10 years now without a winning season, almost 10 years. And it's only so many times you can attribute all of that to coaching. You know, it's only so far that you can throw that rock. You know, it's only so far you can pick up that rock and throw it. And I was looking at some real interesting numbers also, you know, now that we're on this topic. Raheem Morris has about a 48% winning percentage as the Atlanta Falcons head coach currently. I'm not including anything interim, you know, because when you're an interim, you just pretty much a substitute teacher. That ain't really your class. You just substitute. But he has about a 48% winning percentage. Arthur Blank has right at about a 49% winning percentage as an owner. So pretty much the same level of success and the same level of failure. TG says, what up, man? Let's see what you got. Let's see, man. Let's get to it. What's going on, Todd Gurley? I like mess with TG. You got the same initials. Swarm says, yo, what's good, Todd? They finally caught the beginning of a lie. Let go. Let's get it, bro. Let's get it, man. I'm glad to have you here, Swarm. And probably the reason that you just caught the beginning of one is on me, bro. Because I normally don't come on during normal people hours. I normally come on after 10 most of the time. Sometimes be after 11. I mean, you can occasionally catch us on the Wi-Fi after 12, but that just normally be me, man. I'm more of the David Letterman of the Falcons content creators, man. I'm more of the Arsenio Hall, you know. I'm kind of like the late night cat. Lisa says, I like how the interviewer said Mr. the Playoffs for 8 years in a row will be unacceptable. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And hey, man, if we don't get it together soon, that's where we're gonna be headed. Another long off season. Clay in the building. What's going on, Clay? Appreciate you always coming through, showing a bunch of love, bro. Hope you had a good day today. We got Uncle Lou in the building from Twitter, man. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you coming through, Uncle Lou. Hope everything going good with you, man. Always great to have you in here, showing us a bunch of love on each other, man. Hope all is well with you, brother. Lisa says they didn't hold back. Ooh, I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to get this show on the road. What's up, Daniel? Daniel Berry Sports Highlights is in the house. Happy Tuesday. Hello, everyone here. Hello to you, Daniel. Hope all is going well, my friend. Coach's Corner. Coach is in the building. What's going on with your coach? Y'all make sure to check out Coach on his new show here on YouTube at the Coach's Corner. Him and his co-host, they do an excellent job. Got a great platform. So y'all make sure that you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and show them some love. They will be on tomorrow at 8 p.m. Every Wednesday is when they come on. Coach says, I think the Godfather just needs to completely take the wheel and stop with the committee crap. This is not THD. I'm not sure what that's short for, Coach. And no need to have a board, either HNIC, and they need to act like it. I think Blank takes a back seat because I guess he don't want to necessarily be seen like a Jerry Jones type. You know, although I know he is passionate about his team, I don't think he wants to be, front and center like that. Even though I know he is heavily involved. I think Blank likes to be at a point where it's like, look, I hire people to do stuff for me. I might not make all these games. I might get on my yacht and, go to one of my properties in Montana and I just may just vibe out for 2 weeks. And I don't have time to be involved in the day-to-day operations of the Falcons. I mean, I think Blank likes to be hands-on to a certain extent that, he can still have his billionaire lifestyle and travel the world and get on his yachts and, just do the flossing that only Arthur can. Arthur's kind of like a silent flosser. He's silent and flosses on you a little bit. King Richard in the house. What's going on with King Richard? And also, y'all make sure to check out King Richard here on YouTube as well. He does have a YouTube channel. King Richard, if you like, man, go ahead and post your channel in the chat, man, and let everybody check you out. Great Falcons content, so y'all make sure to show him some love as well. He's a tight of my boy. What's good? I'm chilling like a villain, big dog. What's happening with you, bro? One half of the eye test is in the building. Y'all make sure y'all check out the eye test. They also will be on tomorrow at 10 p.m. They're on every Wednesday at 10 p.m. What's going on with you? Winston says, what's going on, Buck and chat? Smash that like button. Thank you. Yes, indeed. Please hit the like button. Thanks in advance. Clay says, franchises go in cycles. Our fan base wanted Matt Dimitroff and McKay gone while they were winning. Look at the teams with bad quarterback play. Quarterbacks had 3 bad games this year, and we were ugly in those games. Yeah, man, the NFL football is so predicated on quarterback play, man. Like, especially today's NFL. I mean, that's why they make the big bucks. That's why they're making $45, $55 million a year, man, because the game is dictated by your quarterback. They control it. They control the game. So, if your quarterback is out here playing bad, playing atrocious, not getting the job done, the chances are very high that you will lose that game, or you will lose a lot of games if the quarterback continues with the bad play. So, for our sake, as a franchise and as a fan base, hopefully, Michael Penix gets back this week, and he starts to gain his experience and get his repetition in order, becomes comfortable, and he becomes, the franchise quarterback that we all want him to be. Hopefully for us, he becomes the greatest quarterback in Falcons franchise history, because that means he will leap past guys like Barkowski, leap past guys like Vic, leap past guys like Matt Ryan. And if you leap past a Matt Ryan who was very, very, very good in his prime, that means the chances are very great that you can bring a Lombardi to this team and to our fan base who, in my opinion, we definitely deserve one. Antoine says 478 was good. What's good with you, bro? Shout out to the whole 478 in the house. King Richard, dang, we need a Waffle House for this. Yeah, man. Yeah, I kind of wanted to save it for the Waffle House. But, this is hot off the press, man. Hot off the press. So I wanted to react to it. Maybe we'll come back on Friday night and still talk about it, because there's still going to be a lot of stuff to talk about on Friday, bro, because it's just one of them weeks. It's one of the weeks. Somebody else probably going to speak out. There's probably going to be some more breaking news. You got a trade deadline on the horizon. So, it's a lot of stuff that could happen between now and Friday night around 11 p.m. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into it, man. And let's see what Rich McKay was talking about, bro. I'm real interested to hear this. So let's get to it. And also, y'all, this shout out to 680 The Fan. Make sure that you do subscribe to their YouTube channel. We are using this courtesy of 680 The Fan. I will go back in and put the link to the interview in the comments on the channel, so y'all make sure to show them a bunch of love, because we are about to react to their content. So let's get it. All right, so I think I'm gonna turn my background music down a little bit. That way, we can hear this as good as possible. So y'all give me just a second, man. I be having to maneuver through StreamYard now, man. Then they add a bunch of features that I don't know how to use, that I don't never use. I still got the banner up here from when Kirk was the starting quarterback. One of these days, I'm gonna figure this stuff out. I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna figure it out one of these days, man. One of these days. Before we get started, the Home Depot. Duh, my bad. 82 Monte Carlo in the house. We just gotta ride it out, man. It's either teams down, it's other teams down bad too. That's true. And we're not gonna quit watching 10 per hour expectations so we don't break our brain. I'm pissed too. That's an excellent comment. That's a great comment. Lisa says we got to get it together. The potential for a 3-game losing streak is on the horizon, with the Patriots and the Colts playing well right now. You're right about that. You're absolutely right about that. So we definitely got to get it together. Knowing this team though, and how schizophrenia they are, they'll go and they'll beat the Patriots and the Colts and come back and lose to the Colts. And unfortunately, somebody like New Orleans, who going nowhere fast. That's how this team is built. They'll go out here and they'll beat the powerhouses, and they'll come lose to the the Pee Wee League, the Pee Wee teams of the NFL this season. That's just how the Falcons are moving now. But let's go.
Thank you for coming by, and appreciate you spending some time with us. But we've been critical of this organization. We've been critical of you. I'm going to ask you a question because a lot of people are asking it, myself included.
But he gets straight to the point. Hey, I've been critical of you, so we're going to ask you a question. Hey, man, we ain't got time to waste. Rich McKay, we pissed off, and we pissed at you. So, let's get straight to it.
Involved are you in the day-to-day operations of what's going on?
So that's good. Okay, that's a good question. I'm the CEO, so that's my responsibility. Greg is the president and runs the day-to-day. I'm probably there one day a week. I would say I go up. I'd say that the operation is, listen,
Damn, Rich McKay said he go there one day a week. But that sounds like a nice job to have, boy. Imagine you getting paid at least $1 million a year. Man, I bet I don't know how much Rich McKay make. Maybe we can Google it. Well, somebody told me last week, like, man, Google is a thing of the past. It's one of them young, you know how these young folks are. Google is a thing of the past. You use Chat GPT to find out information now. I'm like, well, pardon me. So maybe we'll Chat GPT it, and we could try to figure out how much we're gonna pocket watch Rich McKay and try to see how much that guy making. Cause that man said he don't go to work but once a week. Boy, that must be a nice gig. Boy, you ain't got to show up to the office but once a week. Sheesh.
We lost a football game this week and a home game, and it's a really tough one for everybody, especially for our fan base. But the season is still got a long ways to go, and we've got a lot of games to play. And that's one thing I think Raheem, I didn't hear all of his press conference yesterday, but I heard some of it. And I thought he did a good job of reframing and refocusing, which is an important thing for him to do. But listen,
what the hell does reframing and refocusing mean? What is he talking about? What does that mean? What does reframing and refocusing mean? I don't even understand what that's supposed to mean. What does that mean? Shout out to my guy. MVM 1978 is in the building. He said, Rich ain't shit. Get him gone. What's good with you, MV? I appreciate you coming through, man. I hope everything going good with you tonight on this Tuesday, man. We did a back-to-back MVM, like Drake say. We going back-to-back.
That's involved in the organization. None of us are happy with what transpired on Sunday. We didn't win a game, and it wasn't a good game. But I think you get in Raheem and the way he led us, you got to refocus and you got to get ready because you're going to have to go to New England and play next week, and then we're going to have to go to Germany, and we got to get ready and try to win some football games, get some people healthy, and win some football games.
Are you part of? Raheem said he did speak to Arthur, and they speak on Mondays. Are you part of that?
I was in that meeting. Yeah, he does do that.
Rick. I was in that meeting. Rich, these people may be telling the truth now. If you ain't handling the football operation no more, why are you in the meeting? Why are you in the meeting, Rich? Come on now. Why Rich McKay is in the meeting with the owner and the head coach? What's up, Rich? I'm gonna let you keep talking, but that's a red flag, big dog. Rich, gotta be honest, Rich. That's a red flag, bro. For somebody who say they're no longer involved in football decisions, why are you in the meeting? That's definitely a red flag. At least as per Chat GPT, Rich McKay's net worth is estimated $78 million. Goodness gracious, that dude that made some bread while he been here. Golly. Blanton really broke him off some real proper, boy. Shit. I see why Rich McKay never left and went to work for no other organization. Man, just imagine you worth $80 million and you don't go to work but once a week that you show up to the office. Shit. What? Goodness. Yikes.
He's great that way. A lot of the coaches have done that, right? They sit there and they have just kind of a debrief. It's not a long meeting, but it's a good meeting because questions can get asked.
Let me ask you, if you were a general manager still, and you were a general manager in this league, and on Mondays you hear from a coach, why did we not win this game? What was the biggest thing? Well, we lost the line of scrimmage. If there's not follow-ups, if I saw the transcript of yesterday, please tell me that there was a deeper dive than we did not win the line of scrimmage.
So, and I'll say this for you. In my days, and I know I'm sure it's in their days too.
I'm gonna pause it real quick. Does anybody know? Was this Lisa? Do you know if this is an in-studio interview, or are they doing this maybe by phone or Zoom or something like that? Because it sounds like he's in the studio, but I'm not for sure. But it looks like the interview is only about 15 minutes, so I couldn't imagine that he would go into the studio for just a 15-minute interview. So it makes me wonder if they did this in the radio at the radio station, or maybe they did this by telephone. So if anybody knows, just let me know. I would appreciate it.
Today, you got to understand, a GM and a personnel department they're in the same building and they're in the same room and they're talking like, I don't know, 18 hours a day, because there's so much that goes on during a season. Forget this season right now. I'll just tell you from my time. There's so many moving parts on who's practicing on Wednesday, who we bringing in at safety on Tuesday, who we working out on. I mean, there's just it's an operation that's constantly in motion. So communication, to your question, 100% of the time.
Okay,
100% of the time.
But he made a point of when Arthur, the conversation was, we didn't win the line of scrimmage. We didn't win up front, I believe was the actual quote. Please tell me that wasn't an acceptable answer, because that doesn't even scratch the surface of what's gone on this year and what I believe.
Please tell me that was an acceptable answer. It'll be interesting to hear what Rich says, but I guess really only Arthur Blank can truly answer that question, from my perspective, because Arthur's the one that he's talking to or he's answering to. That's the owner. So seems like that would be something that Blank would have to answer or say whether or not that's acceptable or not. Winston says in studio, I believe he was there because Blank was getting an award. Okay. All right. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for the information. Yeah, it sounds like they're in studio. I hear mics moving around whenever Rich McKay is talking.
Went on even on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into what gets said in those meetings. I would just say to you that those meetings are one thing, because it's a period of time. It's an hour. The conversations that go on between the GM, the personnel department, and the coaching staff, that's endless. That's true in baseball, as you know, every day, and that's true in football, and that's true in basketball with the Hawks.
Hey, man, leave the Hawks out this, man. Leave the Hawks out this. They already have enough problems, Stone.
Yes, what's said back to the media is it's a moment in time where you're doing an interview and you're giving an answer. But I would tell you that the discussions that go on and the in-depth analysis of the discussions, and today, probably different certainly than in my day, the analytical side of what you see and what's presented from what came out of the game is endless.
Rich McKay is here with us. So I said this yesterday. I think you have Arthur's ear too much. I think you're too involved in it, and others feel the same. What say you?
You're certainly entitled to say whatever that's what you guys do. I would say to you that I know the role I'm supposed to play. I'm supposed to help on the business side. I'm supposed to help when we come to big decisions on the football side to give Arthur whatever views it may be. But I haven't tried.
I'm supposed to help on the business side. I'm supposed to help on the football side when it comes to big decisions that Arthur has to make. 3 Dirty in the middle. What's going on, 3 Dirty? Yo. Y'all gotta help me out with this now. Y'all gotta help me out with this. I'm supposed to help with the business side, and I'm supposed to help out with big decisions on the football side. When Arthur, I guess he's gonna say when Arthur's got to make a decision. Like, what do y'all think that means? When he says big decisions, like is he talking about? I mean, that's being very vague, and hopefully whoever is interviewing him does ask some follow-up question or a follow-up question. Hey, what do you mean? Are you talking about whether or not we're going to do this sponsorship deal with Ford or Chevrolet for $10 million? You know, Ford is offering $11.4 million. Chevy is offering 10.7, but we've done a lot of business with Chevy, so maybe we should take the lower amount because of prior business dealings. Or are we talking about like, do we keep Kirk Cousins? Do we cut Kirk Cousins? Like, you know, we really need some clarification. So I guess we need to keep listening and see if we do get that clarification, because that's like being very vague to me. And maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that's like, to me, that's like being very, very vague. What's going on with your Ski? Ski says, Toddy, you should start showing up more. Yeah, I should, bro. I should. And, you know, my bad and my apologies, man, because I know I'd be real inconsistent. And I was telling Red Swarm earlier, man, I come on the odd hours of the night, and, you know, I really just need to lock in and, like you say, show up more. In other words, be more consistent with the content, man. And that's really on me. That's really on me. You absolutely right, Ski. And, you know, I'm going to promise to try to put a conscious effort together to do a better job on that, bro. You know, I'm going to try to do a better job.
For years to be on the football side. That's not my role. My role is to support.
Hold on, let's go back. Because I started talking. We might have missed something. Let's go back.
Years to be on the football side. That's
hold on, we got to go back again. Let's back up.
To help on the business side. I'm supposed to help when we come to big decisions on the football side to give Arthur whatever views it may be. But I haven't tried for years to be on the football side. That's not my role. My role is to support. My role is when they need something and they want to discuss something, I'm going to be there to discuss it with them. But I think the boss is, if you guys know Arthur, you know he's very smart, very intelligent, very caring. He listens, right? He is listening. Be assured he hears the fans. He knows the angst. And I don't think you could have an owner that wants to win more than he does, and willing to do whatever it takes to win.
He's listening. He hears the fans. He knows the angst. Hey, man. So, hey, we keep it up, man. Maybe we can end up getting y'all boy Zach Robinson and Raheem Morris fired, man. So Just keep the complaints coming. And if we keep losing, man, Arthur Blank may get him out of here.
Involved were you with the whole Belichick thing and then Raheem Morris getting hired?
The interview process was there was a group of it's another question.
Okay, that's a good question right here. This is something I want to hear. This is old news, but it's some juicy information. So let's get to it, man. Let's get to it.
Question. So I would say there was probably 8 people maybe that were on that group that went through that whole process. I was certainly one of them, but we had an independent group that led it, meaning an outside agency. We had another agency.
Arthur Blank, little high on them independent consultants when it comes to hiring his head coaches, man. Goodness. He loved doing that. I wonder how popular that is amongst other NFL owners. Does anybody know the answer to that? Is that common practice? Because I know Arthur Blank has utilized the outside consulting firm multiple times when it comes to consultation on hiring head coaches. So I wonder, how common that is among other owners in the NFL. Red Swarm says, so he admits that he has input in the big decision. Yes, and Swarm, it sounded like he kind of reluctantly admitted it. He almost like, he didn't want to get in a situation where he's blatant, being blatant and lying. So it was kind of like a little reluctance there, but you were absolutely correct. He admitted that he has input in big decisions. And I really wish, Swarm, hey, my apologies, but I'm not sure who's asking him these questions, but I wish there was some follow-up questions. What do you mean when you say big decisions? Or are these big corporate decisions or these football personnel decisions? That would have been a great follow-up question or questions to ask Rich.
It was consulting. So it was a big group. There was no one person, and ultimately it's Arthur's decision.
Arthur gets everybody's thoughts, and he is the ultimate decision maker in the hiring of a coach.
That's correct.
Okay. What about, and I have said...
Rich McKay here, by the way, Falcon CEO with us.
Hey, and we're here because Arthur's getting an award.
That's true. And we'll get to that. Trust.
Okay. All right. So like Winston said, he's here because Arthur is getting an award. Okay, I dig it. So right there in the studio.
So
just want to get all the other stuff out of the way.
I'm nervous about this. I used to have a different
quick story about Arthur Blank real quick since we on the topic. I remember I was at a Falcons game. It was not that long ago. It was not this year. It wasn't last year. It was in 2023. And the game was over. We were walking back to the car, and we was going on the backside of Northside Drive. Y'all who from, Atlanta, or you familiar with Atlanta, or even, those of you who go to games pretty frequently, y'all will know what I'm talking about here. But we was going, toward we was on Northside Drive coming back up. And there is a section where I guess this is where the players enter. It has to be the players and personnel and executives entrance, because they have a big fence up, but you can look through the fence and it don't take much to see like, oh man, these are a bunch of $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 cars, that's behind this big ass fence. But anyway, the game was over. We were walking back to the car, and all of a sudden that big ass gate just opened. Woo! Shit sound like a high tech elevator or some shit. Boom! Open real fast too. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I turned around. I'm like, the hell is that here, man? I ain't never heard that sign around here before. I done walked this block plenty of times. I'm turned around or whatever. Then you got this guard standing up by the gate, like he worked with the Secret Service or some shit. Got this big old badge sitting up there, hand by his gun. I'm like, hey, big dog, I'm just wanting my car, bro. I'm saying, hey, Whatever y'all about to do, y'all, whatever y'all got going on, ain't got nothing to do with that, bro. I'm minding my own business. Then the guard is sent by the gate. Then you got like 2 or 3 other. I don't know if these were I don't know if these were police officers or off-duty officers or what, but they came out there full. Move out the way. Clear out the area. And right after they cleared everybody out the area, because y'all know how congested that Northside Drive be. But right after they cleared everybody out the area, you seen one SUV, boom, take off out that gate. Another big Cadillac SUV, all tinted windows. Boom, 2 more went right behind it. Look like the goddamn presidential I forgot what you call it, man. I'm getting old. The presidential y'all know what I mean. The word will come to me soon. But long story short, that was Arthur Blank. That's how he comes and he goes. You know, he moving like the president. I'm like, golly, they done cleared everybody out. They got these big guards out here with these guns. I'm like, bruh. So that would have looked like when $5 billion plus of net worth is exiting Mercedes-Benz Stadium, you know. But that was just an adventure, you know, because I had never seen like Blank, you know, moving like that. So I was like, well, god dang, I'll be damned. But let's keep going.
Relationship with Arthur than I do now, and that's fine. Everything evolves, everything grows, all good. I've used the statement. I don't.
Convoy. Thank y'all very much, man. I do appreciate it. Thank y'all. Presidential convoy. That's exactly what it looked like. Appreciate it, y'all.
I don't know who has the stomach to do what anymore around here when you don't go to the postseason for 7 years, and you might not for an 8th in a world that it's not built to miss the postseason 8 years in a row. Can you sort of talk to the idea that that's not the case? We will do, he will do, everybody will do everything that it takes, and everybody is turning over every rock to not only make it better, but if it's not better, we got to fix it sooner instead of later.
Is he the same guy he was 20 years ago?
Who's that?
Arthur Blank.
Yes, he's as driven as he's ever been. He's as sharp as he's ever been. I think you guys, if you've been around him, he's as sharp as he's ever been.
Now, I've said this a couple times on this show. You listen to Arthur Blank talk, I really don't know what a narrative came at that he does not know football or he's not a football person, because I will agree with Rich McKay on this part. And, you know, he talks to Arthur Blank 3 million times more than I have ever talked to him, but he is very sharp. You know, he knows football. You know, I've heard him talk about, you know, players' strengths and their weaknesses and, you know, advanced stats, and he's just rolling all this stuff off the top of his head. You know, it's not like me sometimes when I sit here and like, man, let me go with this joke completion percentage. What's his TD to interception ratio? You know, Arthur Blank, this stuff is just coming right off the top of his head. So Blank is very, very sharp, highly intelligent, especially for somebody his age. You know, so I would definitely agree with Rich McKay in that assessment also. Red Swan says, sounds like State Shapiro asking the question. I appreciate it, Swan. I really wasn't sure who was answering him the question. So I do appreciate that.
And he's as driven as he's ever been. And I would say to you that I would never answer the question that way, because I think that any time you begin to have a conversation that doesn't involve where you are in the season and who you're playing next, you're getting caught up in stuff that you guys get to talk about, but we don't. We have got to focus on what needs to be done for this week, try to win a game, because that's really the only thing we can control.
Is this postseason talent? Is this team talented enough to be in the postseason?
I think when we went into the season, I think we said yes. I think that we continue to say yes. I think you still got to maneuver your way through the season on injuries, on who's available, on who isn't available, on who you're playing. There's a lot of things that go into it, but I certainly hope so.
Do you know where a lot of the venom stems from? It's last year with Kirk Cousins, how nobody figured out he was hurt. What is he still playing in football games where I don't care if he's going to the trainer or not. I don't care if he's on a list or not. the inability to realize on Wednesdays, Thursdays, whatever it might be, and certainly on Sundays, that's where the holdover venom is. I'm just trying to explain this in a way that's real simple. There is venom that now exists because it seemed to be the coaching staff didn't do what needed to be done last year. Therefore, you pay the price this year when we all go, I wonder if they're doing the right thing this year.
Boy, that's a hell of a question, man. That's something that, we talked about plenty of times, on this show, on other shows, in between comments on social media, those of them who were on the radio. Man, that's a hell of a hard question. So I'm interested to see what Rich will say or how he will approach this conversation, because I would suspect that he kind of has to be very cautious on how he answers this question, because everybody that's involved in this question is still in the building at Flowery Branch. The quarterback is still there, obviously, Kirk Cousins, and to a larger extent, that coaching staff is still there. That head coach is still there. So, it's going to be interesting to hear what he says here.
I hear you. I hate to use a phrase, but I'll use a phrase. I'm on to New England, and that as you guys would imagine. And I don't. When you lose a game the way we lost a game this week, I'm not dismissing the emotionality. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Emotionality. Hey, man, you said it as a word. Let's go with it.
It'll work for the sake of the conversation.
Yeah, it'll work.
I get that, but I think we have to stay focused on the course and focused on the moment. And the moment is you got to win a game in New England. That is the moment. I hear you guys, but that is the moment. And then the next moment is why I'm here, which is Arthur's Award. Let's go.
All right. We'll get.
All right. I got to be honest. I wanted to know the real answer, but and I know some of y'all may not like this, but he answered that question the way he was supposed to answer that question, because again, everybody involved in that question is still in the building. The quarterback's still there. All the coaches are still there. So you don't necessarily give out insider information to the public in that fashion about a situation that happened while everybody is still in the building. Now, if Kirk, Raheem, and company, if they were now removed and they went on to the next chapter of their professional careers, they were no longer in the building, I'm pretty confident in saying that Rich McKay would have answered that question. But again, being that everybody's still in the building, it does not behoove him to shed any light on that situation. You gotta spin the block and come back in a few more years, and I'll be in a position where I can be transparent and answer that question like you want me to. Exactly, for him. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to hear the ins and the outs of it, but everybody's still in the building, man. So yeah, it's on to the Patriots. So I definitely understand where Rich McKay is coming from, avoiding that question.
To that in 1 second. I just want to ask you one more thing, because I don't want to be accused of talking behind your back. I asked the question yesterday. I don't know what it is that you do on a day-to-day basis. What is it that you do as the CEO of the Falcons?
He sound like me, like, bro, you making all this money, you don't come to the office but once a week. What the fuck are you doing? What do you do? Hey, really, he sound like all of us, man. Like, what the hell does Rich McKay do? He say he the CEO of the Falcons. What the hell does that mean? Like, what are you doing all day?
Because sometimes you say you're involved, then you're in meetings, and you're not involved.
So I'm the CEO of AMBSE and the CEO of the Falcons. I've got on the AMBSE side, we've got stadium stuff. We got FIFA World Cup. We've got downtown. We got all that stuff. On the Falcon side, I'm really the support there for Greg and the coach and others. I still have my league stuff that I've got with the competition committee stuff. I'm still in those meetings that you describe, but I'm
still in those meetings that you described. So you still in the meeting every Monday when the coach and or the general manager has their weekly meetings with the owner. Although it was told to us that you had been, for lack of better words, removed, and now they just report to the owner. Interesting. Very interesting.
It's more at a higher level because we've got people that do this every day, all day, and our job is to support them and give them what they need and make sure we're asking the questions that you guys think should be asked.
And we'll lead into the Arthur thing with this, and I'm not asking you to speak for him. I'm asking you based upon your observance. Is Arthur angry about this?
I wouldn't speak for him that way. You know him. He is highly competitive. Don't underestimate Arthur's competitiveness. And so he wants to win just as much or more than you ever dreamed of wanting to. You know that.
But I guess it's situationally. Like, there was a thing a couple of years ago. This is what got me in trouble with him. It's not the crapshoot thing. It's every.
Hold on. Did he say this is what got me in trouble with him? What happened with State Shapiro and Arthur Blank? Something that happened that I was not aware of. I wonder what happened between those two. Coach says, hold on, Coach. All right. See, these are the type of guys who need to be in the pressers, not the clowns that ask the questions. Now, also Zeno or whatever his name is, as someone who not in Atlanta. Hold on. Someone who is not in Atlanta. Why these guys not there? As far as State Shapiro goes, it sounds like maybe he said something to Arthur Blank, or maybe he reported something on the radio or maybe in writing that Arthur didn't like, which I'm not aware of. And hopefully, Coach, he'll explain exactly what he's talking about right here. But Zeno normally be at all the press conferences. Zeno be asking some pretty direct, straightforward questions. I will give him that. I don't always agree with Zeno because I think Zeno purposely likes to stir the pot, especially on Twitter. I see a lot of Zeno's tweets, and he's always stirring the pot. A lot of times, I think he's just really just trying to get an engagement bait going on a lot of times, and then play the role. Oh, I don't know what you mean. I'm just asking questions. But in those Falcons press conferences, he do be straight to the point, and some of those questions that he does ask, is questions that us fans, we really want to know, Swarm says, dang, bro, ain't cutting McKay no slack. He going straight to the hard nose, uncut questions. Like, look, I've been trying to get you in this seat for years, and I finally got you in this seat. So, and I ain't got but 15 minutes, so I ain't finna waste no time. Let's get straight to it. Even in the beginning of the interview, there was no introduction or how you been doing. No, let's go. Let's cut the chase. Let's get straight to it. Winston says, until Rich is removed from the CEO office, Atlanta will be the sweetest job in the league in whatever capacity. Blank should have been on someone TV with the black suit, red tie, and square on Monday. Firing somebody. Y'all know when that suit come out, that means somebody about to get the axe. PG say stealing money. Hey man, that man got worth $80 million and he don't go to work but once a week. So I'm assuming, since he say he still is in on those meetings on Monday, he probably just go to work on Monday. Like today, when all of us, we got up and went to work, you know what I'm saying? That man probably just stayed in the bed, man. Boy, that must be a good life. That boy, $80 million, bro. To walk into the office every Monday. Boy, that's we must be nice. Must be nice. Maddie Ghost, what's up, Maddie? Says he he had signed and washed up quarterbacks to guaranteed money. In hindsight, terrible contract. Probably the worst free agent signing in Falcons history. If you're looking at this from production / economic standpoint. Coach is Maddie. Oh, you talking to Maddie? Okay, my bad. William Paul, what's up, William? So the interviewers are from 680 The Fan. Dudes don't play. I see that. I'm gonna have to start listening to 680 a little bit more because I'm still the old 92.9 The Game type of person when I do listen to it. But to be honest, I don't listen to a lot of sports radio like I used to, man. I listen to really mostly, YouTube content creators, whether that be Falcons content creators or, content creators from like the Panthers or, the Bucks or, just any other team. The Saints. The Saints got a real good content creator that I enjoy listening to. 49ers or Nightcap. I like Gilbert Arena show. Now that they done brought Skip Bayless on there. And I've noticed, and I'm not gonna get too far track, but bringing up Skip Bayless on that show on Gilbert Arena show on YouTube, Skip on that show, Skip is a lot more likable to me. He's a lot more likable on YouTube than he was on major network television. His personality is a lot more likable. And I get maybe that has something to do with like he's not the main character like he was with Shannon Sharp or with Stephen A. Smith or all them other shows he was on ESPN. But he's a lot more likable. I can actually listen to Skip now and not get agitated. And now that Skip is off of Fox, he's off the major networks. Now I really see kind of, to me, like a lot of Skip's mask got taken off. Now that he's off of Fox and he's on YouTube, at the end of the day, I can see now Skip Bayless is just an old man who really, really, really loves talking football. I mean, really loves talking. I feel like Skip would probably still do that job if they didn't pay him. Obviously, they're paying him, but he just one of them old men loves talking football. Skip is like the old man that's in the barbershop 5 days a week and don't never get a haircut. He's just in there for the conversation. That helps him. That helps his spirit stay young. That's who Skip comes off to me now as. He just that old man in the barbershop 5 days a week and he ain't getting no haircut. He just in there to talk shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Skip is a lot better on the YouTube now that he's off Fox. So, but getting back to the interview,
somebody talked about being disappointed, and I said, when is somebody going to use the word angry? And it's a number of years ago, and that's the moment that lives with me, where you go, at a certain point, disappointed. It's not enough.
I got it. I'm not going to speak for him in this moment.
How about you, as a football guy? Are you angry about this?
I am not. I'm going to not go down that path because I'm like you guys when a game.
He got him tongue tied.
It's over and you're like, you go through all those emotions. You have got to get on the horse and get moving towards the next moment in time, or you will lose again because you sit there and drowned in what happened. You got to fix it and move on. So I
don't know, Rich McKay, like Steak is not originally from Atlanta, obviously. And when Rich McKay said, okay, well, you just can't see and answer these questions, you got to move on. I don't necessarily know if I can agree with that because I will say this about Atlanta media, the local media here in Atlanta, like it's very passive, man. Like, man, you go to some of these other media markets, bro, they'll sit here and hammer you about shit that happened 3 games ago. Like, no, you're going to answer these questions, bro. Like, a Philadelphia media market, New York media market, Chicago, Massachusetts, like everything ain't gravy like it is in Atlanta, man. Like you can just give us a bunch of sweet nothings and we move on and you expect us to move on. LA, man, a lot of these markets just ain't like that, man. Texas, these Texas markets rough too. I'm sure Coach can tell y'all about the Texas, the Texas local media, man. Like you just ain't about to slide, man. It's just like, no, we ain't going to the next question. We need an answer. So, Atlanta, the local media is comparably speaking to other markets. It's very passive. It's very, 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 very passive. I will say that.
I'm done with those questions, but I feel you.
I'm done with those questions, but I feel you. Oh man, you let and got the best of you, Rich McKay. You basically saying I quit. You basically saying I quit, bro.
I'm fine with it. Let's move on.
All right, so let's talk about why.
Let's move on. Oh, how many minutes we in? We 11 minutes in. This has not been a good look, bro. 11 minutes in. This has not been a good look. I don't know, Rich McKay. Maybe, honestly, man, maybe you should have just waited till after the season so you could be a little more transparent. Because if you're gonna go and sit down, they're going to ask the questions, dog. Like you can't get beat by Miami at your own crib, like we got beat, and you go into a radio station and agree to an interview, and they ain't gonna grill you. Especially if you telling them, yeah, I'm still in the meetings, and yeah, I'm still involved in some, personnel decisions with the Falcons. Oh, okay. Well, shit, that's a green light then. Oh, well, you sure? Well, you the man we need to talk to then, goddammit. It'd have been different if you be like, bro, I hadn't been in the meeting with Arthur and Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris in over a year, dog. I ain't been in that meeting over a year. I'm not involved in no decision with the Falcons. Arthur took me out of that, and he placed me as the person responsible for Mercedes-Benz Stadium and the soccer team. I have no ties to the Atlanta Falcons outside of the guy that I work for owns the team. If you'd have went that route, all right, cool. All right, I get you. But no, bro, it's like I'm kind of starting to see really what the problem was, or what a lot of the problem is, even though I suspected what it was. I touched on it last night, and now this interview is kind of even shining the flashlight even brighter. But, I'm not going to jump to conclusions. I'm going to let him finish talking.
You're here and why Arthur Blank is getting a reward, and a reward and an award, I suppose.
Yeah, well, so the award is really for everything he's done in youth sports, which he's a very unique individual when it comes to the youth sports, spectrum. Whether it's golf and first tee, whether it's flag football and starting in one county where there were 19 schools.
Oh, hell, y'all, they just started promoting now. The football questions in all likelihood are done, but we'll keep going. Once they start promoting like this, football questions are finished.
Now I think there's over 300 schools, and I think there's 9,500 girls that play flag football in Georgia. There's over, I don't know how many schools in Alabama and in Montana. All of that. So you've got, and then you got soccer, where we've done Georgia 100, where he has done Georgia 100, which means there will be 100 pitches built in the state of Georgia, of which he is the funder. So he's touched all the different areas, and that's why I think, Lake Point's wanted to honor him, and really because in the youth sports area, he's gone into middle schools and made a bunch of grants in different counties and middle schools. And middle school is the great place where a lot of kids participate up to sixth grade. Then they get to middle school and they the fees get high. They drop out. They fall off. And then the real players show back up in high school. We're trying to fill that void. And so he's just done a lot in this space.
I have said this, and I mean this. Arthur Blank, what he does for the city, 80% of it will never be known. This is a behind-the-scenes thing that he's doing these things that you're talking about. Absolutely award-worthy. Absolutely. I love the fact that his legacy is going to be beyond the Atlanta Falcons and the Atlanta United. I do. Because I know that's him to the core. I think the thing that, again, I hope this idea of trying to chase the Super Bowl doesn't take away from that.
Right.
But I feel like, again, we're almost at that point, and it stinks in a lot of ways. He is supposed to be awarded these things. He is doing more than any of us will ever do or know. I think because he's Arthur Blank, owner of the Falcons, that's the position he has that everybody goes to first, second, and third.
The high-profile nature of owning an NFL team is not lost on any of us. That's for sure. I think what he does every day in all the ways that he touches those people, meaning everybody, and specifically in the state of Georgia, he's given away $1.5 billion in this, in his lifetime.
Yeah. I think the football questions are done. Shout out to Arthur Blank. We talked about his philanthropy before we started listening to this. So, that is definitely appreciated, man. He's really done a lot in terms of charity and in terms of, open up opportunities, for different people, tons and tons and tons of things, So, I definitely want to give him props on that. That is something to be respected. So, got about 2 more minutes to go. We'll see if they go back to the Falcons, but I know they ain't. But I needed to jump in and say something. So there that was.
Probably 85 to 90% of that is in Georgia, is fantastic. I got it. I got that in the moment we're in, and it's not lost to me. I would just tell you that the impact that he's making, whether it's in the HBCUs and in the scholarship program that he just created, that is just unbelievable. It's a transformational program that others will copy. Others will go into the space he just went into. That's going to make a difference in an incredible amount of lives and in a society, which I just can't give enough credit for.
All right, I'm going to beat the dead horse before you go. Does he come to you first when there's anything on his mind, football-wise? Are you the first person he comes to inside of that building?
There you go. Go ahead and get that last question in there before you let it go. I love it.
I would say the answer to that is it depends, but I would.
Oh, God. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize, y'all. It don't sound like really much has changed. And I really thought, I swear I thought that protocol was different, but it don't sound like much has changed, man. Let me let him keep going, though.
So he talks to the coach, he talks to the GM, he talks to Beatles, he talks to me, he talks to all of us. He's Arthur's a smart man and is always, paying attention. But he doesn't coach the team and he doesn't pick the players, but he asks the questions. I think he's involved. And we're all part of that.
And he has final say, though. Can we get back to that? He has final say.
He does. But remember,
he's involved, and we're all a part of that. He's involved, and we're all a part of that. Good gracious, man. Boy.
He's not coaching the team, but he does. But he doesn't, he's not calling the plays. And you guys know that.
Yes.
You guys know that.
But
he's not calling the plays, and you guys know that. And you the guys, Rich McKay, are you fucking serious when you say some dumb shit like this, man? I wasn't agitated at all during this interview until you just said that. He don't call the plays, and you guys know that. Of course he ain't fucking calling the damn plays. I mean, boy. Let's keep going.
Meant big picture. It is his.
Oh, absolutely.
He's in control.
100%.
It's his call.
100%.
Stays, goes. Anything else that goes on around the building is
true in our businesses. Any of our businesses, yes, he does. Whether it's Mercedes-Benz Stadium, whether it's FIFA World Cup, whatever, he definitely has that.
Well, we've known each other a long time, and thanks for coming by and sitting down. And
okay, that's that. This interview is over. Goodness gracious, bro. Coach says, that's what I'm saying, Title. Why these guys not there? All I ever hear is the effed up voice guy. If he was here in Houston, he would get barbecued. That's Coach, that has notoriously been local media here. in the Atlanta market for the longest time, it's been pretty passive compared to other sports markets. I don't know. Maybe the tides will turn, but that's just how it always has been. What's going on, William? William said they need to get rid of Rich McKay, man. Man, it don't seem like this gonna never happen, bro. And I swear, I thought Rich McKay was like separated, My dog 330 in the house. 330 says the bird nest was sad Sunday in the third quarter. What you mean 330? Give us like a explanation when you say sad. I mean, I know I heard some booing, but when you say sad, like if you don't mind, like expand on that. Let's see what else. 82 Money Carlos says bottom line, Raheem is that got to get in their bag because what the F is they doing? Brick and his team, the only one seeing war ready. Yeah, and honestly, bro, even Brick last game, man, Miami put up about 35 points on us. So that was not their best game. Lisa says when I saw McKay at the game in Minnesota, I realized then he's still heavily involved on the Falcons. Unfortunately, that seems to be the case, Lisa. I let them jokers fool me and had me thinking that Rich McKay ain't got nothing to do with the football side of the Falcons, but that is not the case. Williams says, oh my God, this dude is not a football guy. Coach says, yeah, Arthur Blank is a great man. What he does for his people at the Home Depot is without a doubt amazing and why people love working there. I've always heard people say that Home Depot is a excellent place to work. I really never heard anybody that I know that works for Home Depot have really anything bad to say about it. I've always heard they pay pretty good and the benefits are extraordinary. I know one person that worked there who I talked with, and she couldn't stop talking about the benefits. And after she worked there, I think 10 years, how her vacation or paid time off, how much she was getting. William said, this bald head, hey man, what you got to get bald headed people, man? Like, give us a break, bro. Like, come on. I'm just joking. Have to go, man. We ain't gonna win the trophy, nothing until Arthur Blank has some balls to fire his right hand, man. William, at this point, man, we just gotta hope Rich McKay just decides he's gonna retire, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Why retire when you're worth $80 million and you only got to show up and you only go to the office on Monday? Man, I would never retire from that job. But they'd have to kick me out there. I would never retire from that job. T Terry in the house. What's going on with T Terry? Appreciate you coming through, man. And y'all make sure to do me a favor, man. Make sure that y'all hit that like button for me, man. Like, that really, really helps the channel out a great deal, man. So please don't be stingy on them likes, man. Hit the likes for your boy. Everybody, the replay gang, hashtag replay gang. Appreciate y'all checking it out, man. Y'all make sure to hit that like button too as y'all listening. Jeremy the Priest says, Rich the Boogeyman. I feel for Terry. Yeah, it's a sad situation, man. 330 says this is the dysfunction in this franchise. Can't put your finger on anything, but it's a lot of hands in the cookie jar. Whoa. That's a prolific comment. That's a prolific comment. And the crazy thing about it, 330, is we just listened to Rich McKay try his best to be evasive. And even with him intentionally trying to be evasive, he told us everything that we kind of assumed was happening. And he kind of confirmed it. And he's trying to be evasive. So the point I'm making is just imagine the depths that it goes, Just imagine the depths it goes. And he's trying to intentionally be evasive. Scary shit, man. Winston says Greg Beadle was the biggest prop man of all time. Saw his ass once and then they put him up in the closet. I hadn't seen him in a minute. You're right. Rich Hazen will always be the background, pulling the strings until its expiration date. I have seen Greg Beatles, man, since the beginning of the season. You got a point. Matty Gosa sounds like an event planner using Mercedes-Benz for big galas and events. Hey, man. Shit, man. They make a lot of money. They make a lot of money renting out the Benz, bro. Because no matter who it is, no matter what genre of music, but all the big performers, they do multiple dates at the Benz. And it ain't cheap, excuse me, it's not cheap renting out the Benz. So I guess the way they look at it, like, look, if we can't fill the stands up on Sunday when the Falcons play, well, we finna rent this thing out to Taylor Swift for 3 days, to Beyonce for 4 days. Yeah, we're gonna get our money one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? There's more than one way to skin a cat, as the old folks say. So, you know, they getting that guap. They definitely getting that money. 82 Monte Carlo, they're gonna bird feed us what they want us to hear and do what they want on their end. That's definitely a fact. Definitely a fact. T-Terry Rich McKay is in to be the NFL commissioner. Possibly, bro. If they can ever get Roger Goodell out there, hey, Roger Goodell, well, they can never get him out there, all that money he making, you know. So, but yeah, I can see that happening. Strapped up in the building. What's up, Strap? I'm not stressing out over this team. They're not going to get my blood pressure up tight. I think we are in a rebuild mode, so to speak, but only time will tell. That's a very wise way to look at it, bro. That's a very wise way to look at it, man. 3 dirties of the bird, and this is the hype section. Third quarter, it was 60% empty. Yeah. I know they the hype section, and you know they kind of color coordinate their stuff because they normally be the loudest section there whenever I go to the game. And you know it's bad when the hype section get up and leave. You know, I think that's Pastor Troy crew over there. So, but I don't blame him, man. That stuff that happened Sunday, that shit was wild. Coach said, yeah, the benefits were better than any job I ever had. I mean, amazing. And I was in the military. Damn, that sounded a lot. That sounded a whole lot. Maddie says, well, if Blank loses revenue, he'll have to make a decision. When you hurt the pockets, then results happen. That's true, Maddie. I'm not going to debate that, but I'm going to say this, man. Like, bro, like the NFL, man, like the NFL is really print money at this point, bro. Because they do revenue sharing, you know. I mean, every owner, every team has the opportunity, you know, to kind of get their own side hustle money, obviously. But when they doing that revenue sharing and you got these networks paying like all this money to show these games and have the rights to these games, and man, it's almost impossible for an NFL team to lose money at this point, bro. Right now in society. And then again, you know, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, you know, Atlanta being such a huge entertainment mecca that any big artist, regardless of genre, you know, this is just not rap music. This is any genre of music, from country to rap, you know, anything, any genre of music. When they doing their tours, man, like Atlanta's such a hot music market that they're coming to Atlanta. They're doing anywhere from 2 to 5 dates, you know, and they have to pay Mercedes-Benz to rent out the stadium for the night. And, you know, obviously it's not cheap. So, man, Mercedes-Benz money, they Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Arthur Blank, that even if that stadium ain't packed with Falcons fans, man, he's getting his money, bro. He is definitely getting his money, bro, without a doubt. Well, since we're gonna have to talk about this on the eye test, that'll be tomorrow at 10 p.m. And I'll definitely be checking it out. Matty Go says, so basically this isn't a football team, it's a Ticketmaster event. Business masking as a football team. Great. I hope not, bro. I would be highly disappointed, man. I would be highly disappointed. T. Terry says, Tyler, how do you feel about Michael Penix Jr. being a Falcons quarterback in the future? I hope he ends up being the guy. I really do. I can't say whether or not he will be the guy because it's too early to say, but I think he's on a good pace, you know. I think he's on a good pace that he can show progression and, you know, eventually become like a Pro Bowl caliber type talent who can make some deep playoff runs and one day win us a Super Bowl. But right now, with, you know, him having started 9 games of his career, is really too early for me to kind of give a definitive answer on whether or not I do think he's the guy. But I hope so. For our sake, I hope so. For our sanity, I hope so. Because if he's not, bro, man, this gonna set us back about 5 years, dog. Straight up. Because they're gonna give him he got drafted 8th. Even if Terry Fontenot and Raheem leaves after the season, whoever the new general manager is, they're going to be willing to give him some time. You know, because you know we don't have a first round draft pick next year, so it ain't like you can go in the draft and get another quarterback. So you're gonna have to get Penix probably about 3 years before you make unless he just trash can sorry, and he's obviously not trash can sorry, but if he ain't who we want him to be, bro, this gonna set us back so far. It's gonna be funny. So let's just hope for the best, bro. Cole said, well, the networks are currently fighting Prime and NBC going at it. I didn't know that. I had no idea about that. Georgia, Texas boy in the house. What's up, Georgia, Texas boy? What's up, Todd and Falcons family? The new era is here. The Atlanta Falcons will rise in 2025, or it's a new coaching staff in 2026. That's a fact. Georgia, Texas boy, that is definitely a fact. New coaching staff and a new front office, man. I've kind of come to like Terry Fontenot. You know, he seems like he's a pretty cool cat. Seems like he'll be a cool cat to have a beer with, shoot some pool with. But if we don't turn a winning season, I just don't see a way that Fontenot can survive. I don't see a general manager that does not have a winning season on his resume being able to go through 3 coaching staffs or 3 different coaches in like 6 years. I don't see it. Now, I will say this. I ain't got nothing against Terry Fontenot, but if they fire Raheem and they keep Terry gonna be the new Rich McKay. I'm telling y'all, that's gonna be Rich McKay Jr. If Terry survives and Raheem is fired, Terry is going to be the new Rich McKay Jr. And he's just gonna be around the franchise forever and never and never. 3 Dirty says, did we make 2 bad decisions on 2 quarterbacks in the same season? I hope not. 3 Dirty. Obviously, in hindsight, in full transparency, bro, I was celebrating. I was championing the Kirk Cousins signing at that time. Full transparency. At that time, I thought it was a great move, but in hindsight, that's going to go down in history as the worst free agent signing in Atlanta Falcons history. The worst free agent. And it's not going to go down in history as the worst free agent signing in history because Kirk was the least talented, or he gave us the least amount of production. It's going to be based on the financial implications of it. You gave this guy $100 million guaranteed for 2 seasons, and he only gave you 7 wins. So essentially, you paid $100 million for 7 wins and no playoff appearances. That's why it's going to go down in history as the worst free agent signing in Atlanta Falcon history. Georgia, Texas boys, I think Blake should allow Terry to pick his own coach. Man, listen to how Rich McKay talk. That's probably never going to happen, bro. Everybody hand in that cake, bro. The thing is, Tyler Rich is a general manager. It seems like it, brother. It definitely seems that way. Georgia, Texas boy said, I think Terry might be to bring in Joe Brady or Pete Carmichael. You mean Rich McKay and Arthur Blank? Because it don't seem like Terry got that kind of pull, man. It don't seem that way. He might can make some suggestions, but listen to Rich McKay talk, man, no. So it tells us, I'm sorry, Tyler. Ray Edwards still hold that for me. And Ray Edwards was horrible, but the thing about Ray, bro, when you look at the financials of the situation, dog, $100 million guaranteed for 2 years. You only got 7 wins and no playoff appearances, no playoff victories. If Kurt didn't make so much, I would say Ray Edwards. But, I mean, $100 million guaranteed for 2 years, dog. You paying this man $30 million a year just to ride the bench. Like, that's almost unheard of. Hey, man, but again, we did a back-to-back tonight. We was on last night. Back on Tuesday night, man. If something happened tomorrow, we might step back in this thing tomorrow night, man. But I want to just thank everybody who came through on the live, man. I really appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Y'all make sure as you leave, make sure to hit the like button. Everybody that rep the replay gang hashtag. Make sure that y'all hit the like button also as well. Hey, peace, love, blessings.